If you can, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do is, of course, picture this. And I was watching this movie and I said to myself, I know for a goddamn 100% fact,
I am not a crook. I have never been a crook, and I will never be a crook.
Fuck it, I will rent it. I don't care.
It's really on me. As James Cameron said, the Na'vi hang dong like donkeys.
This is the 3 for 3 podcast.
oh, you motherfucker.
How does it end?
What you gotta look up is why is the internet debating whether Nancy Reagan gave good head?
Oh my god! I was not expecting that turn. What the fucking... What the hell?
Send me the goddamn quote of him saying that.
What the fuck? Kind of pissed me off they put the shit porn over that.
A bunch of goddamn fucking bullshit is what it is.
Bags up, everybody. Bags up, feet up, coming through.
There have been a lot of times where I tried to slide it out without breaking the cookie. Didn't quite work. Like, don't put this shit on us.
I was like, we didn't do
You motherfucker. And what is that movie about? Fuck if I know, man. Honestly.
Amen to that.
It's just a...
That's been a 3 for 3, my friends.
Picture this.
3 for 3. Now that's really cool.
Welcome back, one and all, to yet another episode of the 3 for 3 podcast. I am your host this week, Mr. Jackson Workman, and I'm joined by these two familiar lads who you may have seen before on this show, Mr. Matthew Patterson and Mr. Samuel Holler. How are you boys doing on this fine evening?
Doing good. Feeling exactly as my shirt
I only just saw that. What's on your shirt, Matt? Ah, yes, a true banger, to be sure. I just rewatched that recently. It holds
I
up.
think I've shown this before, but it's the Dr. Pepper
Oh, that's right.
version. Yes.
I'm gonna beat you up and steal it.
Over my dead Cyclops body.
I will hire he who shall not be named, and we will team up, and I will get that shirt one way or another.
Oh, that'll rage bait me into actually killing you both.
If we want Matt to actually kill us, then we'll get Alan Cumming involved. That's how we know.
Well,
There will
three
be an
people
Alan,
die,
and there will
and
be
One of these days, Matt, we're gonna pick an Alan Cumming movie for the podcast, and I can't wait to see what happens then.
You're not gonna see me. You're gonna be like waiting for me the whole time, and I'm gonna be like, nope.
Just your face will be blank.
Or when we get to the movie, I'm just gonna leave.
You'll just have a cardboard cutout of yourself here.
Yes.
I'll
I'll have Steve Lass come and do the episode.
That's actually not a bad idea. That would be interesting to see how that would go. But yes, this week we bring to you our second episode of season 4. Last week we kicked things off. I think we got things off to a pretty good start. But now, boys, we got to keep going. We got to keep on trucking through this season. We got to keep picking good shit and all kinds of interesting, weird shit and throwing curveballs. Like, Sam this week, he teased last time he was going to have a curveball for us. We'll see if it paid off or if it failed. We'll have to decide that later because first we are going to start with Mr. Patterson's pick, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Take it away, my good sir.
Yes, indeed, guys. This week we have a true classic, in my opinion. 1 second, let me just make sure I get some names right here. But yes, we have the Michael Cimino directed. Oh shit, you got it on DVD. I got my Clint Eastwood collection somewhere, but it has it in it.
Here's the gun that you needed to point it at you, Jackson, or that you were going to point it at us.
That I would like to point out real quick that as of this moment, just like Tom Waits at this time last season, every episode of the season so far has had George Kennedy in it.
So
So,
far. 2 for 2 at this point.
exactly.
But yes, that's why I picked this one. This movie is a Michael Cimino flick, which surprisingly
Oh, that's it.
is less fucked up than some of his other movies. However, as we will get to it, it ends on a very sad note. But yes, this is the rollicking adventure or action adventure flick that shows Clint Eastwood, of course, as his in a very familiar role as a preacher. But he's not a preacher because some men are coming after him And while this is happening, Jeff Bridges, known as Lightfoot in this movie, is out there stealing and, getting by, and he steals a car because, he's got a wooden leg. And he wouldn't lie about something like that, would he? Or would he? And so he steals this, I believe it's a Thunderbird, and just freaking guns it.
Plymouth.
Plymouth. That's Plymouth. Freaking guns it. And while Clint Eastwood's running away from this guy who shoots up a church, he converges with Jeff Bridges, who is stealing this car. And Jeff Bridges does him a favor by accident by running over the homeboy. And, which I'm pretty sure is Dunlop, as I figured that out from the credits. But anyways, we'll get there. And these two meet up, and they start going across country because, they both got a past, and they both figure it out. And Jeff Bridges figures out that he is one of the people who robbed a bank. There's a very famous bank robbery. And these guys never found the or they hid the money, but they never found where it was stashed. And so they kind of are all coming after each other. Specifically Clint Eastwood. They're coming after him. And on this journey, they encounter some crazy people. And you find out that George Kennedy and Jeffrey Lewis, who, God bless the GOAT, Jeffrey Lewis as well, for his other roles in Clint Eastwood movies, like Every Which Way But Loose. Dude's a GOAT as well. But yes, you got them coming after him. And then they team up because they got an idea. Who's dumb enough to rob the same bank twice? Well, these guys are. And that is exactly what they do. And that is basically the plot and the premise of this movie. But to get down to it, it's a fun ride. I had a great time. There were some good laughs. Clint Eastwood looks like he's enjoying the hell out of himself compared to some of his movies. He laughs a lot. He smiles a lot, which, as I had sent Sam a Twitter thing, which is funny that this, of course, they posted about this like 2 days ago. Apparently, Michael Cimino's note to Jeff Bridges was to make Clint Eastwood laugh on and off screen as much as possible. And that is what he did, because apparently Jeff Bridges felt he was too nice for the role. And Michael Cimino was like, yes, that is what we need. Because yes, I never thought that these two would make a great team up, a duo, with various homoerotic undertones at points. But they do. And it's a fun watch. It's a good time. It's very insane at points. As Jackson, your review pointed out, George Kennedy telling a kid to go fuck a duck. Or Clint Eastwood not wanting to give a girl a ride home, so she screams rape. And then that dude in the car, his wife is like, are you sure we should stay here? And he just goes, well, I don't see why not. I'm just like, what? That made me laugh out loud. There's a lot of those jokes in this movie. It's a very horny movie at points. And some good car
movie in
chases.
a row where one of the main characters is watching a woman do something erotic while he's working.
Yep. Amen to that. And so yeah, I mean, good movie all around. I had a great time with it. This is my second time seeing it, but honestly, I don't remember it that much the first time. But yeah, this is like a good old heist movie. It does end on a bit of a sad note, and I'm kind of wishing it didn't because I would have probably enjoyed a sequel to this. But nonetheless, directed well, written well, acted well, all around a fun time. But I'll let you guys take it away and your thoughts on the movie.
Well, it's no secret that Michael Cimino is my all-time favorite director, and the Deer
Oh, I didn't know he was your all-time
I
favorite.
would say so. The Deer Hunter is in every fiber of my DNA, as well as some of his other movies. But I really need to shout out for one, D. Barton, the goddamn composer of this, who did a bunch of Clint Eastwood movies, like Every Which Way But Loose and other High Plains Drifter and stuff, because I love the goddamn music in this. But this movie is tailor-made to exactly what I need in any watching experience for a movie. I saw this movie 3 times this week. Just because the first time I was so into it, but didn't get out of it what I thought I needed, and then the second rewatch, it just fucking slapped all the way through. Because who in their goddamn fucking mind eats ice cream like that? Because that shit fucked me up. And
It's so funny because I saw your review before I saw the movie, And I was like, huh, is this just one of those things where Sam exaggerates? And then I watched the scene in the movie and I'm like, oh no, he was not. That is fucking insane.
But yeah,
I'm talking
Deep throated
homoerotic
that son of a
undertones.
bitch.
Homoerotic undertones in this movie at points, and I'm just
um,
like, why? But all right.
It's like, hey Jeff, come on over. Maybe you and me can have some fun. I don't know.
He's like, I want to see you eat that ice cream like you got this roll. Like, show me how you got this roll, Jeff.
well, that's where that entire watching experience, I got to really enjoy the comedic and lighthearted aspect of this movie and how goddamn great and just the interactions just are just perfect. And then the last time I got to just view it through a very serious lens where with what happens to Jeff Bridges at the end just really like weighed on me the whole time, and just getting to look at the actors' faces a lot more rather than just being completely captured by the giant scope of the look of the film and the scenery and the environments that they're put in. Fucking crazy when they break in with the pantyhose on, and just start going wild and getting down to the brass tacks. And it's a movie that I must learn from because redheads are bad luck, as I have found
Bro,
out.
I wrote that down, Sam. I literally wrote, I said, redheads are bad luck. Like, literally, Sam. That was the first thing I wrote down.
I love this movie so much. It's so goddamn good, and I really need to see Silent Running because I know he wrote that, and that was right before this. So I just want to go through his whole evolution because yeah, I just love it.
It just occurred to me. I just remembered that he also co-wrote Magnum Force, which I guess is how he and Clint Eastwood linked up to do this, if I had to guess, because that came out the year before this. So that's cool. Just realizing that just now. Um, but yes, this one is one that I've been wanting to see for quite some time. So I was happy that you picked it last week, Matt, because I was looking forward to it. And man, I'm just gonna come right out and say it. No fucking preamble. This is a masterpiece. I love it. I fucking would damn near call it one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I genuinely, I have no notes whatsoever on this movie. I think every single aspect of it is extremely well done. The fact that this was his Michael Cimino's first movie too is like fucking nuts. To make something this strong on your first goddamn try, something this like fucking big and heartfelt and just sincere and just everything with like also I love the commentary of like the old world is dying and like with the schoolhouse and like everything and there's just so many points in the movie where they just kind of very subtly highlight that and it probably did feel like that in a lot of ways to people at the time when this came out and man, every shot in this is a painting. Every bit of dialogue is so sincere. Every character is so just like, whether you love them or hate them, you're invested in them, like in some way, shape, or form. Like, and because I don't know, you just gravitate towards them. Even though, like George Kennedy, who ends up being a bastard in the end, you're invested. I was invested in him for most of the way through the movie. Towards the end, I said, fuck you. But either way, I was still like, even though I hated him at that point, I'm like, but I still want to know what happens to you, and all that good shit. And this is only my second Michael Cimino movie, the first one, of course, being The Deer Hunter. And that movie, again, when I saw that for the first time, that's one of those viewing experiences you never forget. That is just like fucking top tier, like in the absolute goddamn top echelons of cinema. That it's like a towering fucking achievement that most other people could never hope to replicate. And so when you see something that fucking good, you're like, okay, the next thing you see from that person has got a lot writing on it. And this was honestly a fucking really good follow-up to that. Now I'm thinking, okay, you've made two absolute bangers that I absolutely loved. And this one really helped me kind of like realize more what his sensibilities are. It's like, oh my God, I see so much here that I also saw in The Deer Hunter. Like seeing it again in like a completely different movie with a different story it was like, okay, like I kind of know what your sensibilities are now. And honestly, at this point, I have no choice but to eventually get Heaven's Gate on this podcast. That is going to happen for sure
Literally,
because I've never seen it. I've always wanted to see it, and I'm just after watching this, I'm so curious now. I'm like,
it is
I
4 hours
want to
long.
see.
Just a heads up.
Say what?
It is 4 hours long.
I know. The true version of it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it because I'm so now morbidly curious about just like I want to see more of like his period before he kind of, went into exile and made some less than great things later in his career, but because so far bro was absolutely out of his goddamn mind. He was as crazy as a rat in a tin shithouse, but he was a fucking genius. Like that I can say just based on these two movies. I mean, just based on Deer Hunter, but this one now too. I'm like, bro, God bless you, you crazy son of a bitch. You had something special in you. You had a spark. That much I know. So
Yeah.
yeah, love
Bridges
this.
dying at the end of this though really fucked me up because I was really hoping it was gonna be them. Like, it's more saddening, like has more gravity to it. But I was like, damn, I would love to see a sequel to this where they're still just going across America, fucking shit up, having a good time. I mean, it's good that they capped it off, so we don't have to worry about like crappy sequels. But still. And then the way he died too was so fucked up because when he was in that schoolhouse and he just started drifting away, I was like, that's how I was worried I was gonna die because of the car accident. I was like, I can see myself just at work, just like, they're like, you okay, man? I'm like, I'm fine.
When the half of his face starts to stop working and he just starts like melting.
Brilliant acting on Jeff Bridges' part too,
Yeah.
because like he's just being so fun and lighthearted the whole movie, and then he just breaks like when he dies at the end, like his that like you said, like his whole half of the face stopped working. I believed it, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's so sad because and it makes you hate George Kennedy even more because they don't explicitly say that's how he died, but it's heavily implied that it's because he beat him up so bad.
yeah,
And
Kicked him in the
that
face.
last scene where he's just like, "Man, I feel like we really fucking accomplished something, I feel great." Like it's so perfect. I mean, just like I almost can't even. It's almost hard for me to like really even talk about just how much every aspect of this movie just worked for me and was just brilliant. I mean, it's so sad, but it's such a perfect ending. Just in him tearing the cigar in half and just throwing it away, I'm just like, fuck. It's like, and then that last shot, like, it's poetry. Seriously.
yep,
I really love the way it builds their like buddy relationship and like them at the diner and all the like different scenes that lead up throughout the events and how much I think Clint doesn't need Jeff, but Jeff needs Clint to a way that Clint ends up needing Jeff, and it really like swirls and kind of develops in such a amazing way how they it seamlessly just slides into just this like perfect unison of like existence. If that makes
yeah,
sense.
and like there's so many small moments too, that like between characters. Like I love that there's a scene where just George Kennedy pops his beer and it like literally just sprays into his fucking face, and it's literally like half a second. And I'm just like, I don't know why I like moments like these, or fuck, I'm blanking on it. Oh, like when George Kennedy, she's like, she's just a baby, and then they cut to George Kennedy breaking in, and she's like having sex with her boyfriend.
That got me. That was really funny.
Yeah, and bro just like takes off his mask, like, oh my god, and then puts it back. Like
Yep.
small shit like that just fucking
Them
adds
being
up.
tied up like to each other when the parents ran in was crazy.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, the it's amazing because Clint and Jeff's relationship throughout the whole movie is so just like strong, so heartfelt. We've seen so many buddy movies like this, but this is one of the better ones in terms of like just how good their chemistry was, how great the characters just clicked together. I don't know. Their friendship is like such a driving force of the movie, and it just, and then it's fucked up because the I love the dynamic between the four of them in the second half of the movie. Like I really like them as a unit. And then it all gets fucked up when George Kennedy goes AWOL and just, starts fucking everybody over. I'm just like, man, we had a pretty good thing going there, and you're just an asshole, like, which I guess you were from the start, if we're being honest. But yeah, I don't know. It's
What
sad,
did Jeff Bridges say? Like, nosy bitches ruin everything or something like that.
something like that. I can't
It's like or
remember.
dumb. I don't know if he calls her dumb or nosy.
I can't remember what he said,
I
but
know the line you're talking about.
Huh?
I know the line
The
you're talking
driving
about, right?
lady. When he calls the driving lady, I can't remember what he says.
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, that's when
But
he says that redheads are bad luck, man.
you want to know what the real fucked up thing is the fact that like they get away, like yes, Jeff Bridges dies, but they both get away. Like because they were smart and they didn't just fucking panic like George Kennedy did. He ends up getting completely fucked, like eaten by the dog and chased by the cops because he just is too nervous and has to leave. And I'm just like, bro, if you had just chilled the fuck out and just like, stayed in the trunk and you all could have gotten away with it. It's just like he really fucks the whole thing up. He's the exact opposite of Cool Hand Luke, where this time it's just like, no, you're not helpful at all. You just fucking suck.
I love the
Yeah.
shot where the cop car is like about to come up and catch them, and then even turns, but then it's because the cops turning around to like go get George Kennedy instead. Um, when they're like on foot after Jeff gets beaten up and whatnot.
Yeah.
The way
Honestly,
that
Clint
shot
Eastwood
is-
should have let Jeff Bridges drive though in that scene because he was just hitting every fucking car in that drive-in. Literally, I was like, "Damn, dude, they're parked."
Yep. Not the best driver.
And
But
also, you could tell Clint Eastwood's never touched a piano in his life. And he was at the bar. I was like, did somebody just tell you hit these keys right before they said action? It's like, all right,
yep.
one take, right?
Um, yeah. I,
Yeah,
I and I can't get over either how like from the fucking beginning I couldn't get over how good like we really got to shout out Frank Stanley, the cinematographer, because like from the fucking beginning of the movie, every shot, even just the simplest ones like inside the church, I was just like, my God, this is well shot, which I should have expected after Deer Hunter, but like, oh my God, there's so many shots that just look like paintings and just like, I don't know, just the whole thing was, it's weird because like you said, Matt, it's sad the way it ends and there are some sad beats along the way. But it is also like in a lot of ways very separate from Deer Hunter, where that's just a soul-crushing movie from start to finish. And this one has a lot of moments of like fun and levity. And it's like, all right, it's these two guys out here in like, the countryside, just like having fun, screwing around and pulling off a fucking heist, and all that
Lest we
shit.
forget the guy they run into on the road who's fucking crazy. Who's got the exhaust
That
pipe.
motherfucker, Jesus Christ. That
The
was
rac-
with the rabbits in the trunk and
the
knowing what
raccoon in the
the way he
side.
was picking up the rabbits by the ears.
knowing what Michael Cimino did to the animals on Heaven's Gate, I was genuinely afraid for those rabbits' lives when I was watching it. I was like, oh boy.
It's like I let all those rabbits go from the trunk in this movie, so I can fuck up some animals in the next. I forgot that right.
We also have to mention a couple of interesting cameos from Mr. Gary Busey, of all people,
Forgot, yeah.
which was fucking nuts, and from Daisy Duke herself, Miss Catherine Bach, as the lady that Jeff Bridges hooks up with. Melody, I believe was her name. That was fucking cool. So yeah, and I think probably some other people that I forgot about in like small parts. And since I haven't mentioned him yet, Jeffrey Lewis is the underrated best character in the movie, I feel like.
The
Just
goat.
the one who like, quietly just sits there and was doing the most, I gotta say, out of everybody during the heist, driving around all over the goddamn place and got the least amount of respect, got pushed out of the fucking car. He was goated in this, no doubt.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pick Way of the Gun at one point this season. Not soon, but near the end.
Is he in that?
He is, and he is really fucking good. He is like
Oh,
one of
shit.
the saddest parts in the movie, but
I have only seen the first scene from that movie, and it's because you showed it to me when I was at your house one night. And it was, I honestly don't think I need to see the rest of the movie. That's enough for me.
Christopher
it's
McQuarrie said I needed to set the tone for the rest of the movie, so that's why I
it's
did it
it's a
number
10 out of
five.
10 just right there. Just seeing Sarah Silverman get the shit beaten out of her. You can only go down from there.
Well,
But
the having the drive-in be like kind of the climactic kind of resolutionary aspect of the movie really made me think of Kubrick's The Killing and the way that like kind of is shot and has like all the cars in the rows and you have the just big open space because of the track that was since they're parked outside the track and whatnot. Um, and so I really enjoyed thinking of it made me think of that seeing it this time with how that all played out.
hell yeah, yeah. And also when George Kennedy kept telling Jeffrey Lewis to shut up, I was wondering if the Coen brothers had seen this movie because you got Jeff
Well,
Bridges in
Jeff Bridges is in it.
it. Yep. So I was like, there's some Big Lebowski references I feel like hidden if they were like we like this movie, but also they've never seen it. I feel like they probably have, but anyways, because at first when I first saw this before, I knew he was gonna die. I was like, I could see this being the dude before he was the dude,
Yeah.
and then he died, and I was like, no, no,
Yeah, he was reincarnated as the dude.
Exactly.
yes, but yeah, solid movie. We have a minute or 3 minutes and 50 seconds left, so I don't know if we want to wrap it up and then start with the next one or what you guys want to do.
Well, I'll just say real
What to
quick
say?
before we wrap it up. Um, this one almost broke into my top 10 favorites of the podcast. It was very close. And honestly, if I think about it a little more, it might just break in there. We'll see. One of your best picks of all time, Matt. Can't thank you enough for choosing it. Really wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was because I just was like, oh yeah, by reputation, it was like, oh yeah, that's Michael Cimino's first movie. I've heard good things about it, but I wasn't expecting it to be this like full-blown, like, in my opinion, a masterpiece, like just top tier classic 70s cinema, just, loved everything. Just wasn't expecting that at all. And also, this is the last thing I'll say. You already mentioned it, but I just gotta say it. George Kennedy in that ice cream truck saying, "Hey kid, go fuck a duck." I fell back in this chair so goddamn hard, just laughed my ass off. One of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen. Priceless. Just priceless. Laughed so goddamn hard.
Yeah, this
Shout
movie's
out to
funny as
him, Clint
fuck.
Eastwood, and Jeff Bridges and Jeffrey Lewis, all great actors.
Yep,
It's crazy how funny this movie gets at points.
truly. No, it's yeah, and only George Kennedy I think could have pulled that line off with the way he said it too, like the gravitas and just the hey, like I don't know, the pauses and everything.
Just with the scowl on his face. Go fuck a duck.
Yeah, that kid was being real fucking annoying.
He was. He was being a little prick. He needed
Yeah.
to hear that. Uh,
It was crazy how just smarmy he was in this movie versus Cool Hand Luke and how like big bellowy and welcoming he kind of presented himself in that. And in this it's just like you got what you fucking deserved, you goddamn piece of shit.
mhm.
Yes, brilliant actor indeed.
One thing I forgot to mention was the fact that apparently Clint Eastwood was a little jealous when this came out that Jeff Bridges stole his spotlight. And I just gotta say, it says a lot that, about Jeff Bridges as an actor, that he could steal the spotlight from at the time maybe the biggest star on the planet
Yeah,
and get an Oscar nomination when Clint didn't. Not that Clint didn't deserve one, but I'm just saying, like, that's how you know you're gonna be a star when you've got that ability. You've got pretty much the biggest star ever in the world at the time, and an Oscar-winning actor like on both sides of you, you know. So, and you're in the middle just stealing the fucking spotlight from everybody. So, yeah, shout out to the GOAT Jeff Bridges.
You can't go wrong
he was gonna
with
be a
any
star
of his
one day,
performances.
huh?
I don't think there's a single performance of his that I've disapproved of.
Oh no, not at all. He is like, even if it's the worst movie I've ever seen, he is fantastic in it.
Fair.
We need to have Beau Bridges on at some point. He's underrated.
I know.
I'm trying to think of movies he's been in because I know he's been
There
in.
aren't many big
All I
ones.
think of is My Name Is Earl as the dad.
Oh, I didn't even know he was in that.
Yeah, he plays Earl's dad, and he's so good in that show.
I was talking to my coworker about Jason Lee because he knows him as a skateboarder and didn't even know he was an actor at all. And I was just like,
Like you living under a rock, dude.
feel
oh,
like he's got to be fucking with you. Like what?
no, no, he's like 21 years old. He's a huge skater. He's a cool kid. His name's Erickson. Um,
He's never seen the cinematic masterpiece Alvin and the Chipmunks. You expect me to believe that, Sam?
Show him
Possibly, but I
Mallrats at
just didn't
least,
know
dude.
that
Fuck
that
with Mallrats. He's a
was him.
skater.
But like he had tons of clips already like on his phone to like pull up of him skating, and how he showed me one of Jason Lee's tricks that he learned from him how to skate from and stuff, and it was just like, well, you should
And
check
now he's
out
a
My Name is
photographer.
Earl.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is Jason Lee on a skateboard, but like in the My Name is Earl get up. And it's just like, I never in a million years would Earl, like the character, skate.
Um,
Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
so
do we
check
have, I guess we've said our final thoughts on Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, unless there's more.
goated movie, great time. Check it out. It's on Prime. You'll have a great time.
it's a banger, and it's one of my
Really.
favorite movies in this goddamn collection.
Same. Yeah, definite. Fucking Hall of Famer for me. Really, really loved it thoroughly. To the point where I almost feel like I didn't say enough about it. But we got to move on. And now, my friends, what we are going to do is we're going to move on to a little movie called The Man with the Golden Arm. And that was my pick, so I will go ahead and take it away. You are Frank Sinatra, and you are doing it your way. You just got out of rehab. The summer wind is blowing. Luck be a lady tonight and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you get out of jail. You know, you've been there for a little bit because, well, we'll get into that later. But you're back and you're trying to rebuild your life. You got a fucking really bitchy wife in a wheelchair, and the only reason you're with her is because when you were drunk, you hit her with a car and you paralyzed her. So, you feel guilty and you feel like you got to be there for her. Even though, much like Jimmy Stewart will a few years after this, really, he's in love with Kim Novak. See, he's got the vertigo for her, if you know what I'm saying. But, this also ends with not to give it away right at the top, but this also ends with someone falling from a fucking tall building. Goddamn, similarities.
That bitch could walk.
Spoilers, Matt.
Forget it, Boogie.
But yeah, so you're out and you're trying to, reconnect with all your pals, all your peeps, all your chums, but there's just one problem. You see right around the corner there's something lurking. What is that something? Temptation, because you were in jail for being a heroin addict, and the temptation to use again is lurking everywhere. So, and Darren goddamn McGavin, of all people, is trying to get you to use again. He's the drug dealer, and he's trying to get you to use every time he sees you. And you can only hold out for so long. So Frank, he's dealing with it from everybody. He's dealing with it from his wife. He's dealing with it from his dealer, who's trying to get him to use again. He's dealing with it from Robert Strauss, who's trying to get him to deal in his card game again, because that's what he used to do. And he doesn't want to do any of this shit. Is he gonna? Well, not to spoil it right up top. Fuck yes, he's gonna do some good heroin. Some real good heroin. And shit gets all fucked up. And, it all goes,
Well,
say what?
he's better at doing heroin than he is at playing drums.
That's for sure.
Very true. Very true. Again, much like Clint Eastwood and the piano, I don't know if Frank Sinatra had ever touched a drum set in his life, but we'll get into that. But yeah, it's riveting drama.
It's
You
because he
got all
never got to
kinds of shit
practice.
going on.
Okay, he
Say
was
what?
never able to practice. All right, she
That's
wouldn't
the
let him
problem. He
practice.
was too busy doing it. Sometimes when you got to practice, it's more important to go do heroin
It
with the
was
dad from A Christmas
it
Story.
was the wheelchair girl's fault. She wouldn't let him practice in there.
Ask yourselves this, boys, before you judge good old Frank. If the dad from A Christmas Story offered you the chance to do heroin with him, would you turn him down?
Fuck no.
That's what I thought. Frank is valid, god damn it. Every choice he makes is the right choice.
It took me so long to realize that was the fucking dad from A Christmas Story.
I know.
I was like, he looks familiar. Who the fuck is it? And then I looked it up and I was like, no
He
way.
looks so different than anything I've ever seen him in, because probably this is because it's the youngest I've ever seen him in anything. I'll get into that in a minute, how just great he is in this. But yes, it is the return after a very long time of Otto Preminger to this podcast. We had him on many, many episodes ago, all the way back at the beginning with Laura. And now he has returned to give us yet another banger. The man with the golden arm. I'll let you boys go first. Open the floor up. What'd you think, fellas?
This movie
So-
got under my skin in a weird.
I saw what you did there. Good
No,
shit.
literally, like it just like kind of
This movie made me feel so young. It made me feel like spring has sprung. Anyway, go. I'm sorry.
Not to hop in front of you, Matt, but I feel like I just was so caught off guard by how just smooth and just like pristine and upsetting that it was, just the environment and the people and the situation, and just watching it, just you expect a moment in this movie to be rising up to like this redemptive kind of like peak, and I feel like you started at the most positive potential situation in this dude's life, and you are just sinking the whole way, all the way to the goddamn bottom, and it upset me.
I gotta say, for being in prison for however long it was, like 8 months, right?
Something like that.
Like that, 6 to 8 months. Frank Sinatra looked pretty fucking good. You know, as he does. Like you said, Sam, his skin is just so clear and clean. But it's just weird seeing him play like a drug addict and like tweaking out at parts in the movie, because you're just like, I've only known him as like the strong, you know, like badass, cool, charismatic dude. So to see him like break down like that, I was like, I can see. He got nominated for an Oscar, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can see why. And I also read that like dealing with heroin at this time was pretty radical. So I was like, bet for everyone to do that shit. And they also shot it completely on sound stages and like some backlots. But this movie looked fucking good for black and white. Like all the shots looked pristine. And I was getting a little annoyed at his friend in the glasses. I kind of felt bad for him at points, but then I got annoyed with him near the end. I was like,
Who
bro.
also returns? He was one of the gas station guys, and it's a mad, mad, mad world.
Shit. Hell yeah. So
Damn.
2 for 2 this week.
Yep.
Or not really, because I forgot Mad Mad Worlds 2 weeks ago. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I fucked with this movie a lot. It really, really made me sad at points. There were points where I was kind of laughing, maybe a little bit at it, but then that quickly stopped. But that's just because the 50s and their style of doing things just made me like, I was like, well, what else are you gonna do in the 50s? Everything was so fucking boring. But
The way people got in his
Joking.
face from the get-go, just like nonchalantly, just like leaning so far into his like bubble, I was just like, no wonder you fucking couldn't succeed in just fixing your life.
I thought he was bullshitting him with the drums in the beginning when he told. I thought he was just like bullshitting that whole thing, and it turns out it was like more of a rehab situation than a jail situation. It seemed like. But yeah, when he started playing him, I was like, I can see how that's a little annoying. But also, she was being crazy. She was like, "You're the best dealer ever. Why would you not deal?" And I thought she meant dealing drugs, and it turned out to be dealing cards.
That was the crazy. When I like was watching it for the first 30 minutes, they keep calling him dealer. And I thought, yeah, like drug dealer, but then the surprise of like, oh no, he's a card dealer. And then, oh, but he also does do drugs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when he puts on that jazz music near the end and just starts wigging the fuck out in that room, I was just like, go for it, Frank, go for it. But like, I don't know why. They kept calling him Frankie, and I was like, all right, I'm fucking with this movie. Really great, really well shot. I loved all the character dynamics and him just whacking Homeboy over the head with the chair. I was like, damn. But good shit. Good shit all around. I'm glad you picked it. And like her throwing herself, my aunt came in about near the end of it, and she was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "Oh, Frank Sinatra's playing a heroin addict." She was like, "Oh." And then about 2 minutes later, she threw herself off the fucking balcony, and she was like, "Did she just throw herself? Oh my god!" I was like, "Yeah, I think she did. I think he was leaving her." And she was like, "Oh boy." And I was like, "Yep."
This
I
is a
couldn't tell
heavy
if she
one.
fell or she threw herself off, and I had to like rewind it, and I was like, "Oh no, she definitely threw herself off."
I lost
But
my
that was
shit
very
when
fucked
when
up.
she got out of the wheelchair. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And it just was a twist I was not ready for.
Well, the whole time I saw it, I was thinking, I was like, she can walk, but more of like as a joke. Not like it's legitimate. This is gonna be a plot twist later. I almost do that with everybody in a wheelchair in a movie. I'm like, they could probably walk.
Hey, another Big Lebowski reference. This guy fucking walks. I've never
Yeah,
been more certain of anything in my fucking life.
yes. They've also watched this movie. That's,
It's all connected. And also, I was saying me and Sam were in sync because we're both dealing with drug addicts, heroin addicts in our movies. But Matt, you and I are also in sync because both of our picks were directed by batshit crazy assholes, who, had a reputation for not treating anybody very nicely. So I'll say this. Otto Preminger was arguably the most psychotic director of all time, the hardest to work with, famously on every single movie he ever made. Every person who worked on those movies said he was a piece of shit. But just like Michael Cimino, by God, did the man get results. Was he fucking talented? This is my third movie that I've seen from him. All three of them have been phenomenal. I loved the shit out of this movie. Just from the beginning was just so locked in. And yeah, I love the story. I love the performances. I love the way he shot it. I love the score. He always used very unconventional jazz scores in his movies. Shout out to Elmer
The score
Bernstein.
is really
It's like so not what any other director would like have in this kind of movie, like a jazz score. I thought it just
it's like
worked so well.
well, you
fragmented.
know those jazz guys, those jazz
Oh
kids. They
yeah,
love
they
the
like to for sure. But
Jeez.
so very that's honestly a good point. It's very fitting in that way. But
Elmer Bernstein's the goat, though. He
yes,
fucking
he is.
killed that.
100%. And yeah, I just it's so crazy to me because Otto Preminger, it's you kind of touched on it already, Matt. It's like they the code at this time, as we all know, the Hollywood code was so strictly enforced. Like you could not show anything that went against the code, any kind of mature taboo subjects, including drug abuse. And it's just amazing to me because like nobody got away with doing that. Otto Preminger just did it. Like every movie he ever made, he literally just said, "Okay, I can't do that. I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be a great movie, and it's gonna be a success." I mean, you watch any of his other films, you watch Anatomy of a Murder, and like even some of the ones that I haven't seen, I know what they're about, and they were also covering very taboo subjects that, weren't ever shown or talked about when they came out. And this one in particular, just full on showing him being a heroin addict in a movie from 1955 is like unheard of. I mean, you never saw that. And the all the organizations, the Legion of Decency, the Catholic fucks everybody. It's always me that's going after the Catholics. I don't know why on the show.
Even though Matt's the bane of Christianity.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, it's they all came out against it. They labeled it like an indecent movie, but it still did well, and it still got attention. It still got Oscar nominations. It's still a classic, I'm just like, I don't know. It's movies like this that like showed like, kind of cut a path forward to eventually like getting rid of the code eventually, I feel like. And they for 1955, man, their understanding of how it worked seems pretty on point. I mean, just like with the cravings and the withdrawals that he goes through and just showing how he feels and everything, it's just like it's insane. And Frank Sinatra, this is one of, bro does not get enough credit as an actor, I feel like. I mean, obviously he's always going to be more well known as a singer, but bro is a goated fucking actor. And I love that he was willing, like in this movie, to not just be cool Frank, smoking the cigar and being all slick and shit. Like he's willing to show himself like as a really desperate kind of pathetic character at times, but one that you still root for at the end of the day. And he's phenomenal. Kim Novak is great. Darren McGavin, Robert Strauss, everybody is great. I gotta shout out Eleanor Parker, who played his wife. Really, really incredible acting from her. That scene where the dealer comes in and sees her standing up, just the look of absolute fucking shock and panic on her face was just so fucking real. Like I felt that shit. I felt like, and her pushing him down the stairs, I literally like out loud was like, holy fuck. There were at least two moments in the movie, that and when she stood up towards the beginning, where I said like, oh fuck out loud, like, oh my God, you know? So yeah, crazy, crazy movie. And she was amazing. And I didn't remember till the end of the movie she was the Baroness in The Sound of Music. And I was like, oh, fuck, range. But both hateable characters in their own way.
Yeah. I mean, I was not sure what I was getting into when I went into this movie, and I was like, damn, this truly is a fucking masterpiece right here.
I think it caught me
Like,
off guard how just like good it was from the get go, and how it was just like, as you said, Matt, like crystal clear, kind of like just it invited me into its world, and I didn't was like so not ready to be in it.
yes. This does beg the question, though. If the man with the golden arm implies that heroin gives you a golden arm, does that mean the man with the golden gun, the gun was made of heroin or shot heroin at people
The gun was the syringe.
in James Bond?
Hmm. I guess
These are
so.
questions. Or
Yes.
reflections in a golden eye. Did somebody have eye injected or heroin?
Let us know, all of you viewers in the comments, what your interpretation of each of these are. We want to know. This is food for thought.
Mm. Or is heroin gold?
It's
In that
it's
case,
it's white gold.
yeah. Unless it's black tar heroin, then it's black gold.
Oh, very true. Very
Because we
true.
know the perils of black tar
Oh,
heroin.
yes, we do, being from Charlotte. Yes, we do. And
Yes,
having written for the big picture.
yes.
Shout out.
That's what I was thinking of. I was just imagining, like, if we'd seen this movie back then, we should have just literally ripped a scene out of this movie and submitted it for them to see what they said.
And it wouldn't have been accepted. And it would
Yeah.
have been.
Well, if it had your name on it, Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah. If I wrote it, she wouldn't have accepted it. You were completely correct about that. But yeah,
Tangent right there. My bad.
yeah, inside jokes. If you know, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, well, I was gonna say, I can't remember to say. Oh my God, the whole part, bro. Like, I was so locked into this movie. I was so just like in, and Matt, your review spoke to me because I kept saying that the whole goddamn movie. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, Frank. And then just fuck.
Ah,
He
my
did
Yep.
it. But the part where he's going through the withdrawals in that room was just crazy. Like, fucking when he like tries to like fucking open the door with the chair and when he goes in the closet and just he's tweaking the fuck out and everything. It was so I was convinced that he was not going to make it. I was convinced that it was just going to be a bad ending. The cops were going to get him something bad. It was going to end badly for him in some way. And in some ways, I almost think that would have been a stronger ending, but I'm so happy it ended the way that it did because I really wanted to see him like succeed. And I really wanted Eleanor Parker to get like outed, and I really wanted, the two of them to get together and stuff. And yeah,
It shows
it's
you can redeem yourself, even if you live off
exactly,
twice. Like you can get back on the on the good side.
which is, the point and is an important message and one that, people need to hear sometimes. So, and how fucked up is that? She's literally just gonna like fucking guilt him for the rest of his life into like staying married to her when she can walk. I was just like, you suck. Like you just suck. Like
You suck.
you really just suck. Like honestly, it's just like her in The Sound of Music. I'm like, oh, you suck. Like in that movie too, she's getting in the way of the people we want to be together being together. That's a specialty of hers. I gotta give it to her. She's good at that.
Yeah. But No longer.
Opening credit sequence was also fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Yes. No, I love the. I also like the ending with the freaking arm like coming down all scraggly. I was
that
like,
I
this
love
shit
that
is
image.
badass.
Otto Preminger's posters and title sequences are usually pretty good.
Mixed with Elmer Bernstein's fucking music too. It's like I remember vibing like when I started watching it because I was in the middle of like getting everything together. I just turned it on and I was like getting my food and stuff like that, and I just started dancing.
Yeah, it's a banging score.
And
Have
of
either of
course,
you seen Anatomy of a Murder?
no.
No, I want to.
Oh shit, that might be a future pick then. That one has a Duke Ellington jazz score in it, so it's even
Right?
better.
But like you
But
said, Jackson, we got to get Frank Sinatra doing the "I'll suck your dick" from "Don't Be
thank you
Afraid."
for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, that's the scene in this that I want to see.
But then
Is
it's Sammy Davis Jr. just going, "God damn." Like,
yeah, I want to see Frank Sinatra redo the cheeseburger scene from Menace to Society. Because I feel like that wasted opportunity not having that in here.
he's like, "I'll suck your dick for these drums, man. I got
I
these
got I
drums."
got these drums, man.
Just starts.
With the brushes.
Oh my God. Also, the I fucking the card game, that whole section of the movie was fucking nuts. Like with the high roller guys, that was like so tense. I was so just on the edge of my seat throughout that entire fucking section.
That made me laugh a little bit when they were just smacking him.
A
I was
little
like, "You
bit.
guys can't use a closed fist. Like, come
A little
on."
bit. No, they respect him too much to use a closed fist.
They're willing.
Oh no,
They're
that was after he cheated. Yeah, never mind. That
Yeah,
they
that's
should
why I
have.
was like, "Why are they just? Can't we just get some like punches? Like, damn."
They're bitch slapping him.
And they're like, "You're next. I'll get to you
That's
next to the other
That's the Will
guy."
Smith move.
Yep.
Bitch slap.
What made that
But
scene so tense for me was just their complete disregard for him as like a person. They were like, anything can happen to you. Like you could die. We can get rid of you, and it doesn't fucking matter. And it was just like, ooh,
Darren McGavin's character is so evil. I really just he got what he fucking deserved. I mean, just like all those scenes of him just tempting him and luring him back and then, making him stay and do the card game when he didn't want to. And then just when he's like, please just give me a fix, he's like, what do I owe you? Like, drop dead, you know? I'm just like, fuck you after everything he's done. Not that I want you to give him a fix, but still, it's like just your complete disregard for him, you know? Like, only want him when he's useful. Just, oh man, he was just despicable. And that scene where he does the heroin again for the first time was so incredibly effective. Just that close up on his eye and just like, yeah, the monkey, he always comes back. It's like a 15-pound monkey on your back and he hides in the corner for a while, but he always jumps back on your back. And I'm just like, God damn, just props to everyone for how well done that whole thing was.
Yep.
unsettling.
And then when
Mhm.
he goes to play the drums at the event, like we talked about this earlier a little bit, but he just can't. And he just kind of gets up and walks out without saying a word.
Poor bastard.
Yeah, it's literally like, oh, it's fucking so sad.
Well, because they do such a good job of building that up throughout the entire movie, of like the drum thing being really important, and then it just fucking sucks when you finally get there and he can't do it. But that's why it is good that despite all his trials and tribulations, it does work out for him in the end. Because, again, it's as we'll talk about in the next one, it's nice to see that happen, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
indeed.
but oh, go ahead.
I just said indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
But
More to say.
do we have any final thoughts on the man with the golden arm?
It was great. I'm glad you picked it. I had never heard of it before you said it last week, so
Don't
It
do
had
heroin.
been, I honestly think that this movie has probably been on my to-do list for this podcast longer than anything else I've ever chosen. So I was happy to finally get it on. It would have been if I wasn't following the Mammoth tradition last week, it would have been my season opener. But I was like, all right, episode 2 is what I'm going with. So, but now we have talked about a man with a golden arm, and we've, taken a trip with Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. But boys, let me check the time here real quick. Oh, it's permanent midnight.
Ooh.
Because that is Mr. Holler's pick this week. The curveball that he teased last week. And Sam, I want you to go ahead, take this one away.
Well, picture this, my friends. You are Ben Stiller, or really, you're Jerry Stahl, and you're a writer. You're doing things. You're getting your plays made. Your best friend is Owen Wilson. Everything's nice. He has a really hot girlfriend, and his girlfriend has a British lady who potentially will marry you for the perks and the green card and all those kind of benefits.
Fucking
But
British people.
yes, who happens to work in the industry for one of the most wholesome, lovely family pictures, which for this better term, I'm just going to straight up say it, Alf. It is Alf. Um, but then I must ask you folks, what happened? Well, you, my friend, have found your source of joy, your source of your pen, if you will, the way you write, the only way to get your keys awoken so you can clickety clack. Well, you just gotta fight back. And Permanent Midnight takes you on the journey of Jerry Stahl, famous writer, famous crazy person, books behind Matt. This is based off a book in this dude's real life.
Yes.
And how
A memoir.
a memoir. Yes. So what would anyone want to do after getting out of rehab and trying to fix your life and get things better? And just stop flipping burgers at this stupid ass and frying cold ass catfish and getting the tartar sauce for some schmucks, some teenagers. Well, you want to just hop in the car with Maria Bello, go for a ride, spend the whole night a fucking and getting to know each other. And she has been off the white horse for numerous years, and she's worried that you're gonna fuck it all up because you're a freshie, you're a newbie, you haven't even hit your day limit where you get your little like badge of redemption. So y'all just keep fucking. You spend the whole entire few days just fucking as you unveil how you ended up where you are, and it kind of follows you through his rise through this industry, how he immediately kind of fucked it all up, and how he tried to do better. Um, did he succeed? Did he not? Well, that is for us to spoil in just a bit. Yeah, I knew nothing about this movie going in, so I was very kind of shocked once it started. Um, Disturbingly,
You knew nothing?
I knew it was about a writer, but I didn't know like it was based on a real person or anything like that. Um, and I saw Ben Stiller, and I was like, okay, I want to see him kind of act and do something fresh. I had no clue Owen Wilson was in this, um, playing a similar role to Inherent Vice. Um,
Yeah,
Very
actually,
interesting.
yes.
um, and I need to mention it before I hand the reins off to you, but them cruising around in that car when he first gets it, having never driven or have like a license or anything, just was like, what the goddamn fuck. Um, but you're taken on a very heart wrenching ride that has some very high highs and some very low lows and some very like what the actual fuck moments and just some embarrassing moments and some moments of just like shame, but also understanding of what you need to do as a person to fix the problems you created for yourself, because it's not something that someone else did to you. And while someone else does play a role in this, a lot of his problems I think stem from his own self-destruction and his inability to crawl out of that. And I think there's a lot of stuff in this movie that really fucks me up, but a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed because it is fucking, the dialogue in this movie is wild. So, and I'm glad I picked it. So,
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, I've seen this once before, but I didn't really pay attention to it because it was in high school. And I was like, oh, Ben Stiller playing a drug addict. Let's see how this goes. And I did not like this kind of movie at the time, so I just zoned the fuck out. Um, so I consider this a first time watch for me. Actually sitting down and paying attention to it, and also having been through similar situations, I'm like, okay, I can kind of relate sometimes. It's a little more extreme than anything I've ever been through, but some of his lines ring true. Um, I do think that you're right, Sam. It was kind of his own fault, which is kind of the hard thing to get behind him in this movie is because like he's really doing this to himself for the most part, except for Peter Green's character who comes in and tempts him
The
right when he's really
motherfucker.
trying to get off
The
the horse.
goddamn motherfucker.
Yeah, and
Who I believe is fully just he's Zed from Pulp Fiction. It's the same character.
But Zed's
I mean,
dead,
when they're
man.
just in his fucking apartment, just running at the
Throwing,
window.
yeah, throwing themselves at
That
him.
was like, I was like, this is a top tier scene. I'm fucking with this. And Ben Stiller does a great job. I mean, I always knew the man could act, and I think people at the time may have not. I don't know about for sure if I'm right about this, but I think people at the time were not like fucking with this movie that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was like, because how do you go back to doing like the comedies after this?
Yeah.
But bro committed to it for sure. Uh, One of the lines that got me though was like when he was like, honestly, going to like a PTA meeting or going to like the store to get food or something like that was a lot scarier than like your 4 a.m. drug crash out, or like I was more used to that. And I was like, yeah, I can relate a little bit. Um, but like he like also the William Burroughs line where he's like, yeah, William Burroughs said like I did it so I can get up in the morning and shave, and he's like, but I don't even like shaving. I was like, okay.
Real
But
quick,
like,
my favorite or the funniest line in this for me was at the very end where he's like, "People always ask me what's the worst thing heroin ever made you do." My answer was Maury.
yep, literally. Well, and that we can get to that, but like the ending of the movie, I guess. Well, I guess we're gonna get to it, but like just having him basically get shamed on all these fucking shows, they're all calling him a junkie to his face, is really like that's the highlight. It's like, oh shit, this is fucked up. More so than him just getting sober and being like, well, I fucked up, but like having basically ever using it for his fame and having that be the point of the movie, I guess, is fucked up too. But Fred Willard, like you mentioned, Sam being in this was like nuts because he was so dead serious, like for the most part. He's a little funny, but like not.
I don't think so.
I was so waiting for him to do some of that shit. And then Jeanine Garofalo was like, literally, it was like all the main players of like the comedies back then, like
What really
showing up in
fucked me
this,
up
but it's
was
dead
Liz.
That's
serious.
something I didn't even think about is like so many of the Owen Wilson too, like so many of these actors are like comedy actors, but this is such a dead serious movie. That
Liz
is funny.
Torres absolutely destroyed me because I only know her as Patsy from Gilmore Girls, and she is such a positive bubble of energy in that movie. But her in this being his dealer, who like at that one point was pretty much like locking him out of her house because like she knew she was killing him and stuff like that. It was just like I've never seen her act like that.
She was better than the dude in Man with the Golden Arm. At least she gave him a little bit. It's like, get out of my fucking. I mean, he did look like he was about to die.
Yeah.
Like he looked cracked the fuck out. And props to Ben Stiller for getting so like skinny for the role because I did notice that like of course in the beginning he was skinny as fuck, but in the scenes with Maria Bello and stuff and like later on, he looked about evened out. Like he looked like he was gaining some weight in a healthy way. And I was like, he was going for it. And I really respected what he was doing. Like I believed what he was like going for. And when you see Jerry Stahl in person, you're like, oh, they kind of do look a little similar. It's not like a complete like why do they cast him? So yeah, I
Apparently,
respect.
they're still good friends to this day. And as a matter of fact, I looked it up. Jerry Stahl wrote a couple episodes of his show Escape at Dannemora,
Hmm.
so he's like
I
getting
keep
him work.
I see
I
Jerry
love that
Stahl
show
write
so
stuff
much.
occasionally, and I'm like, because he wrote on Marin about drug addicts and stuff like that. Like there was an episode where he got like Marin got relapsed and shit. And I kept seeing Jerry Stahl for like a good season, and I was like, bro, Jerry Stahl, hell yeah, dude.
And I forgot till I looked this up last night. He co-wrote Bad Boys 2,
Damn.
Yeah, I
which
mean,
I did. I was like, holy fuck, that's right. That's crazy.
probably wasn't even on heroin during that point.
Oh man,
Something
it's a
that
little
Ah,
concerning if I'm being honest. Some of the scenes in that movie, you think you'd have to be on drugs to write them, but
I still fuck with that movie. I mean, it's crazy, it's batshit crazy and kind of stupid at points, but I still fuck with some of that movie.
it's either
Bad
your
Boys One is
cup of
still
tea or it's not.
it's superior still Bad Boys One, but Bad Boys Two is fun.
Well, I'm just gonna say it. This man. we got an interesting one right here. This I Sam, when you picked this last week, I had absolutely no idea what it was. Never heard of it, knew nothing about it. You described it as a curveball. I looked it up. It got kind of a mixed reception from what I saw, but I was like, I'm not even going to acknowledge that. I'm just going to go in, just see what this is, see how I feel about it. Sounded interesting from the premise. All I knew was Ben Stiller plays a heroin addict. So I was like, okay, let's just see. Man, I'm gonna be honest. Not only did I enjoy this, but I again, like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, this damn near cracked my top 10 of the podcast. I'm just like, I was sitting here in this chair about a night or two ago. It was 2:50 a.m. in the goddamn morning, and I was fucked up because of this movie. This shit fucking just went through to my center. I just, I think this is such a fantastic film. I think it is so incredibly well written, directed, and acted and everything. I think it deserves so much more attention. We've talked about it before, how we like to use our little platform here to spotlight movies that people haven't heard of. More than almost anything we've ever had, I want to just bring this to people's attention. Um, First of all, the fucking story is so engaging to me. And because it's not just like another movie about a drug addict. It's a real story. Like it feels like a real story. It feels like a this really, I don't know, like it's not cliched, it's not generic. It's like, no, this is somebody's actual story. That comes through to me. And it feels specific to this person's journey. And the journey he goes on is so harrowing and it's so upsetting and it's so just like, but it's so similar to The Man with the Golden Arm in a lot of ways, obviously because of the subject matter, but also because it's about them trying to find redemption, and it's about them connecting with this woman that they meet and trying to find redemption with her. And, I loved it in The Man with the Golden Arm. I was so invested in that all the way through, but there was something about the way they did it here where it just hit me on such a deep level where like because to me, as much as I love the story and as much as I love the incredibly darkly funny, like, you know, whole him in Hollywood thing, all that whole plot, like, and just seeing him go through all these harrowing trials and tribulations and writing on Alf, like, while fucked up and all that kind of shit and hanging out with Owen Wilson and Peter Green. The thing that brought the movie together for me, that was like the heart of the movie, was him and Maria Bello in the hotel room. That was really what did it for me because I was so, first of all, it was a great framing device, but it was also just like, I don't know. I just connected with that so much. Like I really liked their relationship. I really liked the way it played out. I really liked the way that they became so close. And I just really liked the way that, that last scene where they're sitting together on the couch, like that shit got to me. Like where he's like, I really, I find myself like just riding the bus or just walking around and I see something and I think like, huh, I wonder like, what she's seeing right now or what, what she would think if she saw that. Like, I can't tell you how many times in my life I've done that exact same thing. That hit me in like a personal kind of level. Like whenever there's been a girl that I've liked, I do the same shit if I really, feel that way about him. And it lets you know in such a specific way she's really gotten to him, like and not only that, but this fucking this journey that he's been on of just getting to the absolute lowest point that a human being can get to, you know, he's come out the other side of it. He's so much calmer, more collected, able to be a human being in these scenes with her. And like seeing that at the end, again, that journey of like redemption just hit. I was just sitting there towards the end watching them together in his apartment, and I'm just like, he made it, Like, God damn it, you thought he could never make it, where he was before. Redemption, getting sober, it was impossible, you would think. Like, that whole sequence where he's driving around with the baby. You're just like, you're scum, you know? Like, look at yourself. You're an absolute fucking train wreck. Like, it's the most just unbelievable shit. And then seeing him so much more collected, like making an attempt to get back and see his daughter, you know, and like reconnect with his ex-wife, at least on some level, and create this new relationship with someone who she mentions has also been through similar things, you know, and just, I don't, it all just like gelled together for me so well. Like, and then just her leaving the note was just destroyed me. I really wanted it to work out. I knew it wasn't gonna, but you know, it is what it is. And Ben Stiller also, I don't think the movie works if you don't have an incredibly committed lead performance. And bro, I've never seen him do anything like this. Like, I know he's done some more dramatic work before, but I've never seen him do anything like this. He sold it so well. Like, the scenes where he's fucked up, I'm just like, I believe you. I totally believe you, bro. Like when he's just sitting there when the cop pulls him over, just that fucking glazed look in his eye when he turns and he's just like, oh, well, you know how it is, officer, you know, trying to take care of a baby. I'm just like, you are just at rock bottom, man. Like, I fully believe that you have just descended into your lowest self, you know, and
The
just
bathroom
like,
scene where he like comes flying out, like freaking out, and then goes back in.
that's
He's like,
Yep.
that scene was so goddamn funny because again, he says it later towards the end. Like the satire of just no one at the party giving a shit because it's LA and they're just used to this happening every 10 seconds, you know?
It
And
was like Alf coming through the door, like the sound of his voice, like "You're a junkie, you're a drug addict, nobody cares about you." Like that was killing me, though. I
fucking
was like,
hilarious. Yep.
ugh. But
And yeah, just all of it, bro. Him, like you said, Matt, running into the fucking windows and shit, and just him being out of his goddamn mind. And that was what was frustrating me so much as the movie went on, he became more and more unsympathetic. But, you know, then you see him in the future part with Maria Bello, and you're like, well, he does get better. So, you know, it reminds you, like, however bad it is, he is capable of being a better person, you know. But man, some of those parts, I'm telling you, I was just like, bro, you are fucked. Like when she gives him the chance to write on the show, she knows he's a fucking drug addict. She knows he's a liability, but she's still giving him a chance, you know? And just immediately after getting the drug test, he just takes that shit from Peter Green and gets fucked up again. And I'm just like, you're doing this to yourself. It's impossible for me to have sympathy for you when you're doing this to yourself.
his
yeah,
introduction and Ben Stiller driving away with him like hanging on inside of his car, like
that was
it
nuts.
just was a wild way to come into the story, and his presence was just felt throughout the whole rest of the movie and how much he fucked up his life and just like leached him and just sucked all of his money away and
When
all
he
that
takes
crap.
the fucking baby into the club to look for him, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck are you
At
doing?
Great.
that point, I was like, oh my God. Like, I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, dude, I was like, you're scum, bro. I thought the baby was going to die. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I
The
really
point
thought he
where
was going to.
he was calling the dude and then like threw the thing in the trash and then like threw the trash down and was trying to find the paper to try to call the dude again. I was like, man, this baby is not looking good in terms of making it.
Yep.
And just the image of him in the car tying the goddamn thing around his arm with the baby crying right next to him, I was just like, whew,
It was
just
rough.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
did get redeemed myself because the composer of this, Daniel Litch, did all the Dexter music. And so I
Oh,
know I
okay.
said the whole Maria Bella thing with Dexter, so it finally came into fruition with something.
You somehow connected the
Full
Yes, I
circle.
connected it.
but yeah, I
Julie
mean,
Benz was just in Punisher Warzone, which I watched the other night. I'm going to throw that out there.
hell yeah. It's funny, Jackson. I just to cap that off real quick. I saw a thing where apparently Ray Stevenson reprised his role as the Punisher in a
In the
voice on
Superhero Squad show,
yeah,
yep.
the superhero. And I'm like, that makes no fucking sense because that's the most rated R Punisher there is, almost
Yeah.
borderline more rated R than the 2004 one. And I'm like,
I feel like that's why they did it, just to like, you know, for shits and giggles.
yep, the Brussels sprout. Anyways, because I saw like a clip from it, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
But anywho, to get back to the movie though, the one of the fucked up scenes that got me was when he's like talking, like auditioning for the moonlighting role, like or to ride on that, and he's just in the chair, just sprawled out, like with his feet
Yep.
up and everything, and he's like talking about stuff, and the dude's like, I got to make some phone calls, and he's like, I'm just gonna be a fly on the wall, and he's just like right now, and he goes, oh, you just need me to. Like
That's
he
what
just
I'm
like
saying. Those scenes where he's fucked up are so believable. He plays it so well. And I'm just like, playing a heroin addict, I imagine, has to be one of the hardest things to play because it's not exactly easy to do research for that part, you know? So you got to kind
actually
of
it's
like
pretty
just.
easy.
It
Sorry.
is, but it's not an option. Ewan McGregor almost did, but he decided not to. Thank God.
The scene that got me real sad was when since he had been stealing from Owen Wilson's stash the whole time, and then Owen Wilson freaking out and him knowing what happened to it and letting him freak out and just like pretending to open and close the same box repeatedly. I feel like it's funny, but also like I feel like a lot of people have done that, and it just
Yeah.
added a really heavy
I'm
sense of like betrayal that
The
don't get.
diagram
blaming
of
a
a scam.
12-year-old kid
The
for stealing his
diagram
shit.
of a scam. I kept saying that shit. And then he like starts to think, oh boy, he got me. Because I for a second I was like, damn, he got him.
Mhm.
And then he sits there and he's like trying not to give himself away, and then finally he blames the kid and he's just like,
It's also wild because Janine Garofalo has been popping up a lot for me recently. She was on the last season of The West Wing in a big part, and then just seeing her again in this, yeah. And I'm just like, oh shit, you're back, and she's really good in this.
You gotta watch
And
Larry Sanders. She's amazing in Larry Sanders.
oh, I didn't know she was in that.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
cool.
great.
That's
I
a
love
show I've
that.
always wanted to see.
I still like that's one of those shows where I haven't finished it, but occasionally if I'm bored, I'll like click back on it and watch a show. And it's like I never left the show. Like I never stopped watching it. And I'm just like, perfect. A good 30
That's a
minutes to like kill.
That's a bucket list one for me for sure. But some of those scenes where she Ben Stiller's just acting fucking crazy, and
One
she's
episode
just
of Recon.
like when he tries to kiss her in that one scene, or when like just something about he's got like something on his finger that she licks off or something like
The
that, or the other
cupcake,
way
yeah.
around. I can't remember, but it's fucking nuts. And yeah, just like. Again, and yeah, everybody else is great too. Elizabeth Hurley is also fantastic. Her only acting role that I've seen besides Austin Powers.
Same.
And did you know that she is currently dating Billy Ray Cyrus?
No.
Oh no. I
Yeah,
guess she's really getting desperate for that green card.
apparently. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, I love the man to death, but he is
He's a
not in the
retard.
best mental state recently. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the whole thing just it and Maria Bello also was phenomenal. Again, like she was low key the heart of the movie to me. But yeah, Ben Stiller, I give him all the props in the world. I've never seen him. This is not an easy fucking role to play, man. Like a movie like this, especially when you're not used to doing drama, especially at the time, he had just done comedy at this time. Like I imagine the pressure must have been on for him to like really fucking perform for this movie, and he fucking knocked it out of the park
Well, I didn't look up the timeline. Is Zoolander before or after this? I feel like it's
after.
after. See, I feel like because I feel like if I remember this correctly, this movie did not perform very well and people didn't really like it at the time. So I just imagine him being in the executive's office and like, Ben, did you learn your lesson? Okay, now you're gonna go do the silly face with your friend over here, and we're gonna make a lot of money. Capiche?
Yeah.
And he's just like,
That this came
okay.
out, to put it in perspective, this came out the same year as There's Something About Mary. So like imagine in the same year going to see both of those movies and seeing him do
Yeah.
two completely different
I mean,
roles.
I still think he was great. So like, I personally disagree with any like person who didn't like the movie.
But it's
But
like it's crazy like the idea that like because this movie deserves the world and he crushed it and the movie's great, but I imagine the executives were probably scared. They're like, we can't sell a movie with that guy, as a dramatic actor. And it's like, yes, you can if you actually believe in it and you do it, but you're a bunch of cowards. And this movie deserves so much more. And I also want to shout out the director and writer, David V. Laws, who this is pretty much the only thing he did, other than having a co-writing credit on Natural Born Killers, which
Yeah.
the fact that someone who made something I love this much could have made something I hated so much. I mean, I don't blame him for that. I blame Oliver Stone, but it still it's wild. That's the only other credit he's got that I could find. But he just, bro, I'm like, why didn't this guy have a bigger career? I'm like, bro, wrote and directed this on his own. It's so, it's so good. It's so funny. It's such a like hilarious look at just like Hollywood culture and just all this kind of stuff. The dialogue is so snappy. I don't know. I
Especially the
really
scenes with
fuck with it.
Maria Bello and him. I felt like the dialogue and the energy just had this kind of vibe to it that was really like great. Like they played off each other really well, and like their jokes of like being an LA druggie versus a New York druggie and all this kind of stuff, and like all the ways that they kind of like connected and like kind of combated with each other dialogue wise really kind of meshed in a great way.
And her just being like, you went to Los Angeles to get away from drugs? How did that go?
Bit of a
And
miscalculation.
yep. Um, yeah, I fucking just adore this movie. I think it's fantastic. And like we were saying before we started, it was fun guessing. I mean, obviously we know that the first show is Alf. That's obvious, but like guessing what the other show was a lot of fun. I had because I heard them talking about like law or robes or something. So I was like, is this Night Court? Is that what it is? And then it's moonlighting if I
Well,
read afterwards. So
I can't remember because I saw a little bit of Moonlighting, but I didn't think she was a lawyer. Maybe she was, or a
I
judge.
can't I've never seen it,
I
so I
thought
don't
because
know.
like I thought she was a private detective, and then homeboy Bruce Willis is not a private detective, but becomes a private detective because he starts hanging out with her.
That sounds
Maybe
right.
it's the opposite, but I
But
don't
the
know.
fact that again, it's like these little innuendos and things like that's clearly supposed to be Sybil Shepherd. And the idea that like this interaction happened where she came up to him and said, I know this is a shitty show. I don't like being on it, but you know, it gives me a paycheck. And I'm just like, oh, I hope she didn't really say that because that show is beloved by a lot of people. So,
Yeah, the
I mean, I
but
scene
fucked with
where
it. Like it's not bad.
yeah,
the scene where he
but
meets Fred Willard and he just shits the show, and Fred Willard's like face after being like this beloved, like this is my child, but then being so on board with like this someone with balls kind of thing, and it's just like what a great role for him.
It reminded me of the scene from Ted,
Yeah,
where the guy he just like screams out the boss, and then he's like, "I like this."
yeah.
the scene boy, I can't believe we've gone this long without bringing this scene up. The scene where he fucks the German chick was absolutely insane. I was like, bro, what? Like the fact that that probably actually happened too, because like Matt, you were saying this stuck to the book pretty closely. I gotta assume that's in there somewhere, but it's too specific for
I
it
mean,
not to
I
be.
I was already on page 13, and we had gotten to like him shooting heroin while his kid was being born. The Alf like banging on the door when he was like doing drugs and a few other things, and I was like, dang, they're getting through this quick. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he's just prefacing a lot of these scenes and then he's gonna dive in deep later on in the book, but I was getting into it.
And then just the line where he's like, "Yeah, I met her in a bar. She hated Mr. Chompers, which turned me on immediately." I was like, this script hits, man. It's witty. I like it. Um,
And just him in that like leather coat that was so huge on him was just like gave him such personality.
Because he's so freaking gaunt.
Yeah,
Like, bro is the most skinniest I've ever seen Ben Stiller ever.
mhm.
Like, he's usually either muscular or just regular. Like, I've never seen him fat or like overweight. But I've never seen him like this, where he like it looks like the wind could break his bones.
Yeah, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
Um, and also just the fucking that scene so goddamn funny where he goes in to pitch the idea and it just opens up and it's this crazy fucking thing and we do all this shit and she's like, "Oh, really? And they bought that? No, I was fired immediately."
Yep. Yep. He's like, have you guys seen Fritz Lang's M? Or like, he starts, and they're like, well, I went to a public school, so I'm not as educated as you.
yeah.
That fucking line. Oh my God, thank you so much for bringing that up. That was one of my favorite lines in the movie. Oh man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I really think this was not just because if I had to guess what some people's gripes with it are, it's that they think it's like, oh, I've seen this 1,000 times. The witty, quick dialogue, making fun of Hollywood kind of movie. We've seen it. I genuinely don't think this is like a knockoff of those kinds of movies, like a discount version. It's as clever and as funny and as like meaningful with his story as anything I've ever seen. I genuinely think so. I thought the writing was fantastic. I thought the whole thing was just So well done. I give full props to the writer director. He deserved a better career.
Indeed. Yeah.
I was pleasantly caught off guard by how just off rip it kind of went. And being, I forgot how much I like those kind of movies because we're like, this could definitely be like a play. Just the Maria Bello stuff, like almost entirely within stuff. And so it allows you to attach yourself to a home base that you just keep going to, and I think that really allows the story to flow in such an awesome way. Um, Made me think of Freeway. I don't know why.
I had
Well,
less of a
that one
reaction
also
to
can
it
get
than
pretty
Freeway.
hectic at times.
Yeah. I like this one more than Freeway. I had more fun with it, I guess.
Yeah, same.
Maybe bad choice of words saying I had fun with it, but I was vibing with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been so caught off guard in the history of this podcast. I just like Sam, yeah, you are very much both of your picks this season so far have been very strong. So, um, but
I think
yeah.
we're going on another run of 3 for 3,
Three
if I'm
for
not
three.
mistaken.
Yeah, no, this is what is this like 10, 11
I think we're
episodes in
on
a row
10 at
now?
least, if not 11.
Double digits, baby. I love
Yeah.
it.
I can't wait. I feel like if we're gonna break it, we all have to intentionally try to break it.
Oh no, no, you wait till I start throwing my curveballs in later this season. It's gonna get interesting. Yeah, but do we have any final thoughts on Permanent Midnight, boys?
Watch it. It's so good.
Yep. Watch it, read it.
Yeah,
Don't
like
read
low key, I do kind of want to read the book. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would not mind picking that up and giving it a read. Because I'm sure there are even more details in the book that they couldn't fit into the movie. So
And it's just as witty. Like I was like 13 pages in and it felt like no time had passed. And I was like, damn. All
yeah.
right. Cool.
But yeah, and Jerry Stahl has a cameo as the doctor, who gives him his drug test, which is pretty fitting, to be honest. He says, what does he say? Some of them make it, some of them don't. We'll see which one you are, or something like that.
It's a hard line.
So he says, like, you'll never make it.
Yeah.
And it's like, but he will because that's you.
Yep.
But yeah, well, lovely movie, loved it, loved everything about it. Was very surprised by it. And boy, I gotta tell you, we are just emphatically 3 for 3 this week. I mean, what a strong lineup. All three movies just bangers. So I guess that's it, folks. Thank you once again for joining us for yet another episode of 3 for 3. We're only 2 episodes in, and we're already coming at you this hard with these great movies. Imagine where we'll be by the end of the season. Imagine where we're going to take this. It's going to be
You gotta like, you gotta subscribe, and you gotta shoot us the fuck up.
great. Give us our fix.
Yes.
We
And we
need
will
them.
give you your fix next
We
week.
got them cheeseburgers, man, if you know what I mean.
We got them cheeseburgers.
Speaking of the Wayans brothers and their hilarious parody of that, I am currently watching all of the scary movies to prep for the new one. So I rewatched the first one last night, so now it's uncharted territory from here.
I cannot wait till I hear what you say about the second one. If you
Yeah,
haven't seen it, if you weren't gonna pick
I'm
up Session, I was like, we should talk about Scary Movie 2. 'Cause
I'm
that's such a
I'm
fucking-
curious because I don't know how many of the sequels I'm gonna like, but we'll see. I'd
least
like to
two.
think I'll at least like a couple of them, but
I think you're
we'll
gonna
see.
like 2 for sure. 2 is like a banger in my opinion. Almost better
Okay.
than 1. Almost. Like maybe
Then
not
David
on
Zucker
par.
takes over, so we'll see how that goes.
Then it's 4, and then 3 and 5 are like what the fuck.
Well, yeah, I've heard 5 is a complete, just not even,
Five you might just turn off. Yeah, I can see you just be like, no.
Yeah, that one I know for sure I'm gonna hate. From the genius director of Girls Trip and Night School. Need I say more?
Well, hey,
But
if you want to see, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, so never mind. That's probably the
but
only good part about that movie.
yeah, well, I feel like I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Yep.
Charlie Sheen,
And do you know who else?
Lindsay Lohan.
Yep, fucking.
That's the only part I've seen from that movie.
Oh yeah, that's literally the only good part about that movie. If you're gonna watch a parody, like Haunted House by the Wayans is like basically Scary Movie 5.
Yeah.
Better
And
Scary
it's
Movie
better.
5.
Same director that's doing the new one. So
Ah, that makes sense.
yeah. But
I've already seen too many jokes from the new one, and I'm like, this is gonna be great.
Next week.
the trailer looks so good to me. I'm excited for it. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it looks great from what I've seen.
I
So
want the popcorn bucket. Give it to me.
I didn't know they had one.
It's
The
a bong,
bongs?
Jackson.
It's a bong.
Of
And I'm
course.
like, oh, I couldn't tell if that was real or not. I couldn't tell if
The
they were fucking
Maverick
around.
is the butter holder.
The
for
butter
your
holder.
popcorn.
I think they might be fucking around.
Lovely.
I can't but because I didn't see Cinemark or AMC put that out, I saw only Scary Movie put that out.
Damn.
But yes, thank you all. We will see you next week. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good shit. Vote in the
Vote
polls.
against
Though.
Matt, you goddamn
veins.
fucking fraud, you voter fraud bitch. There is no goddamn way unless you're doing something that the
I'm
dirty
gonna
is
do. Actually, you know
tied
what?
with
My plan
Cool
is to
Hand
do
Luke
what I
right now.
did this season, or like
Just
last
do it
season.
at the end.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm literally not gonna vote on any of them. And at the
I'm
very
gonna
end, I'm just
find
gonna
a
go vote
way.
all of mine and see
I'm
what we
gonna
get.
I'm gonna find a way to lock the polls down somehow to keep you from doing it, you fucking
is no
conniving
way
bastard.
that with 14 votes, Cool Hand Luke is tied with the dirties. There is no goddamn.
Yo,
Yeah.
Matt Johnson supremacy. I haven't even voted yet, dude.
No, genuinely,
I could.
this poll has exploded. It's gotten so many. Every day I check, there's a few new votes. The episode is doing well too. But yeah, they're tied neck and neck. Cool Hand Luke had it for a minute, but yeah, Matt, I suspect you of fraud because the
I
dirty
haven't.
keep
I haven't
catching
touched
up.
the show. I haven't even posted it anywhere. I'm about to
You
go
have
on
hitters
some Matt
out there.
Johnson Reddits and start posting it, or like the Tony movie.
You have
You're like,
hitters
hey,
out
check
there.
this out, huh?
You have hitters out there.
I do. I have
Apparently.
some secret hitters.
Apparently so. House of Games has 0 votes.
I'm sorry, Jackson.
So,
Not enough Mammoth fans.
nah, I guess not. But yep. Bye everyone.
We're going to some dark places next week, so we'll see you there.
Darker than we went to this week?
Maybe.
Possibly.